So
we're live, and I don't know, like, you've plugged in this new microphone, so I don't know if people are gonna hear us properly. So if anyone's in the chat, which they're not, you unhelpful bastards.
No one is here. No one loves me. Loves me.
You unhelpful bastards.
And like the one watching now is probably me.
No, it's me.
Oh, it's you. Yeah. Oh, okay. You, me, whatever. Yeah. Well, so.
Oh God.
So.
What are we doing?
We're talking about. You were surprised by what? You see that.
Oh, there. Of course, we say don't flush the toilet, and they go and flush the toilet. Should I go yell at someone?
We got 5 kids. Which one are you gonna yell
at? Hey, Lance. Lance is in the chat, and so I'm gonna ask Lance, since you're the only one here right now. How's the audio? Do we sound okay? Please let us know, because
you have some obsession with knowing
this?
No,
because you plugged in the new microphone, so I want to make sure it's everything. Well, maybe not everything, like
you mean if I scratch my butt it'll
if I burp or something.
How good is this mic? And if it's that good, why are we doing this and not something else?
It's perfect. Don't worry. Perfect. All right.
Awesome. Terrific. Woo. Hey. So
Yippee.
Yeah. So you were surprised by
what?
The attitude of Americans?
No, I'm not surprised. Okay, I'm not surprised.
Bring me up to speed here, because
No. I'm not surprised anymore by the attitude of Americans.
Hashtag not all.
Not all, but a good portion of them, and mostly the institutions that are in the U.S. Right? The
country clubs.
No, you nitwit.
Okay.
The ones that write the rules and the laws and
You mean the legislatures?
Yeah, and but not just legislatures, right? Like the police and the institutions. When I say institutions, I mean like education and the police and the government and yeah.
Universities care about people.
No, they care about their bottom line at the end of the day.
Well, yes, but people do.
Okay.
Not really.
Not really.
No.
See, the people that attend universities may care about people, but I'm talking about like the actual institution itself, right?
You mean the way it's built, or?
Oh, motherfucker!
Well, you got to be specific. This is the internet. People want to know.
Yes, the building is racist.
Not the buildings. No. Not the buildings.
The building is racist.
The rules. Well, look, the Richard Spencer guy is not wrong when he says that this country, right? He's talking about the United States. He says that his country was built. Now, when I say built, I mean in the metaphorical sense, right? They planned it out, they designed it, they wrote the law, whatever. No, God, stop it!
I always have to sing.
No, No, you don't have to sing. You're causing me pain.
Oh, shut up!
You Canadians and you're singing. You still, you owe us for Justin Bieber
and
Celine Dion, yeah, and Maroon 5. Isn't Maroon 5 Canadian?
I don't know.
Or is it that other one that Nickelback? You all are every Canadian.
Shania Twain.
For sure. Every Canadian is going to hell. Every Canadian is going to hell.
It's a polite hell.
Yes, it's a polite hell. But I digress.
And it has poutine.
Yes, it has poutine. Yes.
Hey, Ron.
But I digress.
Say hello to Ron.
Hello, Ron. Oh, hey. Yeah. So here's the thing. Richard Spencer says that the United States was built by and for white people. Well, now, what he means is that the founders, it's kind of baked into the thing, right? It's baked into the Constitution and all that, that people aren't really, when they say all men are created equal, they specifically don't mean women
or black
and
people.
They don't mean black people, and they don't mean Puerto Ricans or the natives or anyone else. They mean white landowning men, not even all white men. Right?
Yeah.
Let's be clear, right? They didn't mean them poor sharecropper types and them indentured servant motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They mean the wealthy white people, the wealthy, white males.
What they actually did was they built the country on the bodies
Well, yes, but my point is
of Native Americans, and then on the labor and bodies of Black people.
Right. But my point, or not my point, but Richard Spencer's point is that the country is made for these particular people. Right?
When they
all the laws are for them, and so on and so forth.
Well, yes,
they benefit them.
No shit, I know that.
So is that what you mean when you say institutions?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, but but the thing is, see, I'm Canadian, and we have such a different attitude here.
And because you're all going to hell, let's not forget.
Yeah, well, there's that. But we really do have a different attitude here, right? We have universal health care. Here in Quebec, we have universal child care, right? We have so many social systems put in place to make sure, to the best of our abilities, and it's not perfect, trust me, it's not perfect by a long shot, but we have in place because we don't want people to fall through the cracks. They do things perfect.
Well, there's plenty of homeless people and stuff like that.
So I mean, every year we seem to make improvements on things, and the government does listen. Like, we needed more money put in for when the baby boomers started to become, elderly, and right. Some of them needed care and this and that. So the government.
You mean they didn't put them on an ice floe?
Yeah, they didn't put them. Amazing. They didn't put them on.
Why
an ice
not?
floe.
See, you're just not efficient. You evil socialists.
Yeah. So,
and your social isms.
Yeah, our social isms. Yeah. So
disgusting.
The government give tax credits, to people who wanted to build what we call granny suites onto their homes, right? To have their elderly parents come live with them.
We did that in my home. We did that.
Yeah, so and there's tax cuts for that and tax credits, and also if you're not wealthy enough to afford to build something or to benefit from a tax credit, they have other systems in place, right? So I mean,
do they have little hamster wheels that they put the old folks in?
Yes, they have hamster wheels.
Let them run around because they can be kind of an annoyance.
So
you give them something to do all day.
And the big one recently here was the government decided to put $25 million into autism.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, because that's a drop in the bucket.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's they, like they said, it's just the beginning, right? It's just a start, and that's something that people have been telling the government for quite a while now. Look, we need better services, and that's here in Quebec. That's not all of Canada. It's here in Quebec.
You're just an evil pinko commie.
Yeah,
that's what we used to. That's what they used to be called back in the days of the John Birch Society. When the John Birch Society was a thing, a real thing, that's what they used to call.
I mean, Canada's not the only country that
liberal
does this.
pinko commies.
Yeah.
You just want shit to work and stuff. Fuck you.
Yeah, so I just when I look south of the border, at the U.S.
South of the border?
No, that would be if I was in the U.S. If I was in the U.S., that would be Mexico. No.
I keep forgetting.
From here.
I'm sorry. There are so many Mexicans and brown people here now that I just keep forgetting that we're not in the United States.
Yeah.
Because like just the other day, I got mugged.
By yourself.
Yeah.
He mugged himself.
I came up on me all stealthy as shit and just pulled out a knife and said, "Give me your money."
He misses the U.S. so much he has to go around mugging himself.
And I mugged some other people too. Yeah, there's every fucking way. These fucking brown people and their fucking welfare and their fucking Jesus Christ.
Arguments.
Put them on a boat. Put them on a boat.
Let Lord Southern go after them.
Lord. I don't know. I don't think she's that hot. Maybe because I know she's a moron.
I never said she was hot.
Well, no, I don't want her coming after me. Is my point. I don't want her coming after me. Now, if she was hot, I'd be like, all right, well, I'll play hard to get for a little bit, and then she could catch me.
You'll flail around in the water.
I'll flail around a little bit. Like, help me, Laurie. But I know she's a fucking moron, so it's hard to. Also, she hates brown people. But
I see in the U.S. this me attitude, this you know, look out for number one, you know, pull yourself up by your bootstraps crap constantly. And it's like, some people don't have fucking bootstraps.
Well, no, but my thing is that it doesn't work, right?
And
it
no,
doesn't,
and
it doesn't work. I mean, if everybody's out for themselves, then nobody's bothering to, like, I don't know, build bridges and shit. And I don't mean metaphorical bridges, I mean bridges. Nobody wants to pay taxes, and nobody wants to be part of society, and everybody's John Galt.
Because I think, like, and I was thinking about this today, right? Everybody talks about institutional racism, which it is a thing. It exists, right?
Well, I said it's baked into the Constitution. So, you know, it is there.
And so I'm not, you know, poo-pooing institutional racism or anything, but I want to talk, like, beyond institutional racism. It's not just institutional
You
racism.
just want to moralize.
Oh, shut up.
Because that whole having morals thing is just like moralizing.
Yeah.
You don't really believe that.
I'm virtue signaling.
Yes, that's it. You're not seriously sitting there saying that, you know, we should treat people with dignity and respect. Fuck that. People.
What I wanted to
the cute ones anyway.
What I wanted to sort of like branch out into was like, yes, there's institutional racism, right? But there's also institutional fuck you. And that doesn't have a color, right? That is not just a racism thing.
Well, you try living in a city of 10 million people that's built for like 6 million or 7 million.
Yeah, but it's this institutional fuck you. And it's a big middle finger to who's not rich.
You've never been to New York. That's right.
I've never been. Well, no, I was in upstate New York. Like
no. That's not New York.
15
that's
years
not New
ago.
York. That's not New York.
I was in hillbilly.
That's not New York.
Part of New York.
No, that's not New York. That might as well be like the rural South.
Yeah, shit. That was like
yeah. Oh yeah, that might as well be the rural South.
That was kind of freaky, actually. But anyways,
in New York, let me tell you, in New York,
there were a lot of people that are missing teeth, and see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, they can't even afford to get their fucking teeth.
You mean the ones that carry the signs that say, "Get your government hands off my Medicare."
Yeah.
Get your socialist commie pinko hands off my Medicare.
Yeah, and there's this you know,
and my Social Security benefits.
There just seems to be this attitude in the U.S. where it's fuck you to everyone, and look out for yourself and no one else, and you know, like, save a dime over here, but you don't care if you spend like 10 million fixing whatever that saved dime did, right?
Well, there's, you know what? I find it odd. I will say this, that people are like politically motivated to have like a huge military, right? Which I kind of understand. Well,
in the States,
but there are people also that will tell you we need more prisons.
Yeah,
and then like, well, wait a minute. Aren't you the party of fiscal conservatism?
You've got the two extremes, though. There's some people who are like, we need more prisons, and then you've got these nutcases who are like, abolish prisons.
We need none.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna work real well. No. See, like,
well, you gotta have a place to. You gotta have a place to call home.
Throw the baby out with the bathwater, okay?
Well, you gotta have a place to call home while you're you know, learning to become a productive member of society. Which maybe your parents should have taught you, but since they didn't.
See this attitude of fuck you in most institutions in the US, and in a lot of attitudes, especially on the Republican side, right? It's like, well, you need to just work harder, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. And it's this ignorance, or this refusal to even look to see why it is that, you know, certain people end up in certain situations. It's not as simple as you just need to work harder.
Well, because populism is easier than anything else, right? Blaming the brown people, or the women, or the, you know,
or the infirmed, or you know,
whoever it is, right? Old people or whatever, is way easier than saying, wait a minute, let's take a look at the tax code. Maybe the tax code is a little bit skewed here.
Don't people see the benefit of lifting other people up in a society? Don't they see that?
No, because society is, no, it's all about me.
Strange. I just find that so fucking bizarre. Like, see, here, let me give people an example because like a lot of people don't know, but here in Quebec, right, the tax really high. Okay,
Yeah,
like
I've noticed.
yeah.
I've noticed.
The taxes here,
property taxes are not that easy either.
no, but like the taxes here, if you're working, right, and you're making, let's say, I don't know, like $18+ an hour, right?
Okay.
18, 19 bucks an hour.
Okay.
That's sort of middle.
This
Minimum wage here, by the way, is going up to $14
yeah,
an
it's like
hour.
13 or something now.
Yeah, it's going up to $14 an hour. Okay, so like let's say you're earning like 18, 19 bucks an hour. You'll get taxed around in total 45%. Okay, on your paycheck.
Yeah,
that's roughly what you get taxed. Now, when I worked for other people, I would make sure that, because you get your forms and you say how much tax you want taken off, right? And you can just say basic, or you can put in your own percentage.
Then you like some people will like do the I used to think it was a good idea to have to say to take no exemptions and everything, because then at the end of the year,
yeah,
you're almost guaranteed like a refund.
Well,
but that's a bad idea. Hold on, let me please, because that's as a general proposition, it's a bad idea, because what ends up happening is that money ends up in the government's bank, with basically the government making interest off that money.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just took all the exemptions you can, right? If you're responsible, if you're money, then it's sitting in your bank account to dispose of, responsibly.
But I'm talking about when I was younger, right? Because I didn't want to get slammed at the end of the year with sometimes I got slammed with like $2,000 to pay back.
Right.
And when it's the end of the year, you're like, oh fuck, Christmas just happened. I got all this shit I got to pay for. So what I would do is I would,
good atheist that you are,
I would up it to 60%.
Right.
Right. So I was always guaranteed to get a couple $100 back
sure.
at the end of the year, and I wouldn't have to pay anything out. But that besides the point, we're taxed high here. If you ask most people here, they understand that we pay into this tax system because we all benefit from it, right?
Yeah.
We have universal health care. We have universal child care. We have a year's maternity leave. We have a year's paternity leave. We have all these fucking benefits that we can all access if we need to. And not just that, you're paying into your old age care, right? You're paying into this, you're paying into that. And it's like,
hi, Avery. Hi, Gafan.
It just benefits everyone at the end of the day. And so I've never minded paying a higher tax rate, because I know that at the end of the day, it actually helps the place I live in, and it helps everyone, and it means less poverty and less unemployment and less problems. And
but look, here's the thing. The thing. It's not like in lots of other developed countries that have high tax rate. Things are wait. Yeah, no, let's not talk about the things like life expectancy and self-reported happiness levels and things like clean streets and less crime and less drug addiction, and let's not talk about that at all.
And every year I would make sure to, donate a couple $100 to certain charities, and I would claim those at the end of the year.
You know what's funny?
So you know
what's funny?
Yeah, I mean, people do that.
You know what's funny? As I recall, and I don't know if they still do this or not, but there was a little box that I would check or leave unchecked or whatever. If I wanted $3, out of no skin off of my dick, right? No, not for my taxes, right? That they not my individual taxes anyway.
Yeah.
If I wanted money to go to a political campaign of some sort or other,
okay,
that was one of the questions that one of the boxes you checked off on your income tax forms. Back when I was very young and used the easy one.
Yeah.
Like they have a 1-page one.
Oh, okay.
They have like a one page. It's the 1040, right, which is the tax form. But I think it says EZ on it.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Gefan's right. He says the problem in the U.S. is we don't really get shit for our taxes unless you count theoretical part ownership of a gigantic bankrupt global empire. And he's not wrong though.
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, I get what he's saying, but at the same time, the reality is that what little gets done,
yeah, but
what little gets done, is because of that. Because without that, and you might say, well, they're only paying themselves. Well, yeah, they're keeping a bunch of people employed. I mean, if you want to think of it as the biggest, if you want to think about it as the biggest boondoggle, right? If you want to think of it as the biggest social welfare program, right? All the government and all the federal employees or whatever. You can think of it that way if you want, but a substantial number of people do get paid out of that money, out of the credit that the United States gets from other countries, But whatever. But the point is that you are getting something for it. Now the problem is that there's this myth in the United States that, and in lots of other countries too, but especially the ones that rely heavily on free market capitalism, right?
Yeah.
You get this myth where, well, industry can do it better. No, it can't. It can't do better. There's shit. If you have something like corporate personhood,
yeah,
there's just shit that you're not going to be able to do as well as if you did it for the public weal.
Yeah.
Wheel, not the round spinny thing. Wheel.
Yeah,
right.
And that's something actually. Were you finished?
Yes.
Okay. Because Ron says, and this is a really good point too. It's more complex than that. We've had decades worth of propaganda speaking out against social services here in the US.
Yeah.
Yeah. The entire right wing is arrayed against it, and yet I agree, because I was listening to a video earlier, and I we'll put the link in the description of this.
We will.
When we're done.
That takes work. I don't want to work.
It was.
I'm brown.
Hold on, let me.
I want my Soros check, and that's it. I don't want to work.
Party hard. Hold on, let me see. It's called Socialism for Dummies. If you go.
Oh yeah, the professor dude. Wait, that's some elitist. That's some fucking university gender studies shit or something, isn't it? I'm sure it is. I'm not gonna pay attention to it at all.
It was Professor Richard D. Wolff, and he.
Sounds like a pinko.
He was talking about what socialism is not. Right?
Sounds like a pinko commie douchebag. Yeah. I don't believe it already. It's the universities are turning everybody into women. Yeah. And it's in the university water.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's in the university contrails.
So he was
lizard people.
He was talking about how socialism, like, it's funny because in the US, socialism is such a bad word. Like it's like, oh my God, you're a communist.
The S word.
It's the
S word.
It's a horrible word. But the thing is, socialism can work if it's done properly, right?
Well, pure socialism. Right?
No.
All the money.
Look, economies,
that kind of stuff is not what it is.
Economies are mixed economies. Let's be honest here,
in the
right?
developed world,
they're mixed.
Every economy has some aspects of socialism, and there are obviously aspects of capitalism, right? Of free market economies. But the straw man that people, I'm not going to say who. that they present is that it's like everybody puts their money in a big pot, and then people who don't want to work at all take all of it, most of it, 95%.
And I gotta say, look,
and that's not the case.
As a former social worker, I kind of like social services. You
can't have a society that doesn't have them.
I have seen the benefits of them firsthand. I've seen how people can go from almost being suicidal to finding out, oh, hey, there's a service over there that I can access where I can actually feed myself.
Fuck them. If they kill themselves, that's one less mouth to feed.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
Let them sign away. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
See,
bring back indentured servitude.
Yeah, indentured servitude.
Fuck it.
But in the U.S., I mean,
we're civilized.
One of the things that really, really pisses me off about the U.S. is that women and men, but you know, I'm gonna speak about women mostly here. I know sexism. Oh my god.
Oh no, titties.
There's no maternity leave. What
maternity leave? You get like a half an hour. You go give birth and come back.
Seriously, like what in the holy hell is wrong with the fucking institutions in the US that they don't even give people fucking maternity leave?
It costs money. You just want a free ride. Anything.
It's unbelievable. You know how do I even phrase this without sounding like I'm getting really angry? It is so barbaric to separate a mother and her newborn child. I mean, what do you get in the States? You get like 4 weeks or 6 weeks,
I don't even
some
know
ridiculousness anymore. Like that. Like it's ridiculous. It's not even 3 months, and it's not paid. Most of the time, it depends where you work, but most of the time it's not paid. And you know how sick it is to break that bond, that crucial bond that really in the first year is very crucial.
How are you gonna get prison inmates? God damn it!
Oh my god!
Oh look. Gifon wants to know: Would you two snow pinkos please explain? I like that snow pinkos. Please explain how the hell you were ever friends with Babbling Brook.
Oh my god.
I have never been Babbling Brook's friend.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention her because I don't really care about her. But yes, moving on. Yeah. You on the other hand,
Ron,
you're everybody's fucking friend.
Well, I give people a chance, and then
there's your fucking problem. There's your problem. You don't understand the ethics of John Galt.
Yeah,
fuck it. People need to bring themselves up by their bootstraps.
Now Ron says, he says, you joke, but my sister did have to go to work literally half an hour after she gave birth. That's sick.
Oh no, wait, I'm not joking. Well,
that's
no,
sick.
I'm not joking really, because my mom, like, she gave birth to me and like 2 days later she was back at work, which explains a lot. Shut up.
Avery Sato says most of my friends went back to work within 7 days of giving birth. That's insane. That's insane. Like when I was pregnant with my first child, I was working for a company, right? I wasn't working for myself at the time. And so once you're about 3 to 5 months pregnant, you advise, you know, your workplace, unless you're working for hazardous, like, then you have to tell them beforehand because it may be dangerous to work there. But then you tell them, and they make arrangements. So when you go on maternity leave, someone's there to take your place, you know. And I had a fucking full year off.
That's because you just want to be a baby factory. You don't understand Karen's struggle again. You just want to make babies.
I paid into the system, right, through my taxes. And when the time came and I needed to access maternity leave, I fucking accessed it. And I had 52 weeks paid.
You just don't understand. You just want to be a baby making factory, and that's it. And by the way, white genocide, get the fucking.
Yeah, it's.
Get it?
Yes.
Kind of contradictory there. I'm just saying. Just saying.
I mean,
people, you know.
I had a year off, and it was the best year of my life because I got.
You didn't have to work. That's what it was.
No, actually, yeah, it didn't have to
work.
work.
Having no babies ain't hard.
Yeah.
Being in a house is not a. Fuck you, lady. That's not real work. It doesn't. You don't get paid, so it's not real work. See, the slaves are always. All those slaves would complain about work, but that ain't work because you ain't getting paid. Fuck you.
But I'll tell you, I'll tell you, it was the best year of my life. I got to see her first steps. I got to hear her first words. I was there for everything. We had such a great time together. And then by the time I had to go back to work.
See, you had to go back to work. See, Haha, it's not work. See, you're not getting paid. It's not work. Fuck you. I'm going to steal this from Edward Current. Checkmate, SJW.
Yeah. And when I went back to work, she was old enough to go into home daycare, which again is
that pinko gummy shit.
Is subsidized.
Yeah.
Which again is a social program.
You just don't want to work, you pinko commie bastards.
Yeah, because God forbid,
you just don't want to work.
God forbid you should have affordable daycare.
Your baby making factories and your white genocide and I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't be a Republican. It takes too much stupid.
Yeah.
I can't be like a conservative.
Even, I mean, in France, I think it's 2 years.
Is it?
Or even more.
I
think it's even more now that you get off. But the thing is, like, it's on a sort of a sliding scale depending on how much you made before you take maternity leave. And then if it's anything like our system, you get paid, I think it's like 80% for the first 32 weeks. And then you get paid something like 70% for
it's a scale. It's on a scale. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah. Like
wait, that's some socialism shit.
Yeah,
so it's all bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Become a hooker for that time. I mean, you're in the house. You put the kid to sleep, and then you bring in the Johns one at a time.
Filthy Pinko says, I haven't heard the word pinko used this much since Don Cherry spoke at Rob Ford's inauguration.
That's because I'm an old fuck. That's all it is.
I miss Rob Ford.
I'm an old fuck. I bring it old school. God damn it.
Yeah, and that's true. Very Sato says, when my mother ran a daycare, the rate for an infant was over $150 a week. I don't see how people can justify going back to work and paying these exorbitant amounts for childcare. What's the benefit?
Get another job, you bastard.
At the end of the day, you're what, bringing home maybe $50?
Get another job. Jamaicans have 50 jobs apiece.
I don't understand. I just don't understand. Like, because I remember we thought at one point, like, this was when I still only had my first child. My ex and we were debating moving into Ontario, right? But Ontario didn't have subsidized daycare, and so
see, you're looking around for the socialist shit.
And so I did the calculations, right? I'm like, okay, if we're both working, and this is how much the daycare costs, and plus I've got to factor in gas for travel and this and that. It made no sense. I'm like, what am I working for?
You gotta pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
I might as well just stay fucking home with the kid, and he can go to work, or I'll go to work and he can stay home with the kid.
Oh, you just want to be more masculine. That's all it is. Yeah. You want to feminize the men.
And
by
the way, if we're talking about maternity,
Jews, I will interrupt as I please.
If we're talking
patriarchy,
if we're talking about social systems, he took 9 months off on the paternity leave.
You feminized him. That's what it was.
When we had our third kid, he decided.
You feminized him.
So yeah, he took advantage of that opportunity. And
you're just looking to feminize the world, is what it is. SJW bastards, you.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, you just want to take. You just want to take from the job creators and give it all to the moochers. That's what you want. You disgusting, immoral bastards, you.
So I just don't get this. I don't know. I could never live in the States. I couldn't.
Most people can't live there. They just sort of.
I just
breathe and stuff.
Yeah, I don't see any compassion for, especially with this.
Oh, you pinkos in your compassion.
No. I'm talking about like the government and shit, like this repeal Obamacare and all this shit. Like, people are going to die and nobody cares.
Fuck them. Fuck them. Poor people.
When I say nobody, I don't mean like the public.
Fuck them. They're poor people. Fuck them.
Yeah, it's like
if they can't be bothered to work their asses off 15, 16 hours a day for the shit money, fuck them. They don't have, you know what? Take their bootstraps too.
Okay.
Take them. Fuck them. Fuck them all.
But I mean, how do you justify a system that would let you die or let you go homeless or in bankruptcy or whatever if you get sick?
And Rand says, fuck the savages. Fuck them.
No, but I really, like, all joking aside, I don't get it. I don't get how.
Oh, it's easy. You build a religion around it.
Oh, God.
That's all. You just build, like, really, you just build a religion around it. You tell everybody that everything literally that ever happens to them is their fault.
And see, and that's exactly it. That's what I'm saying, Ron. And that's why I titled this, the institutional fuck you attitude in the U.S. I don't think it's the general public so much. I think there's quite a bit of the general, but I don't. Yeah. But I don't think it's. True. I don't think it's the overall public. But he's really right when he says there's a hell of a lot of sympathy. It's just the people in power don't have sympathy for anyone, and that's why I said it's institutional. I swear to God, it's like all the people making the rules and the laws, and they're just fucking everyone in the ass so bad. There's got to be a point when the public just goes, we've had enough, and fights back.
No, you can get used to pretty much anything.
Oh my God. But then again, I've heard that that's why they do it in small doses, right? So it's not so overwhelming, but you lose a little here and you lose a little there. And then by the time you sort of realize it, you're already fucked and living. Oh,
you think it's just a big old conspiracy and shit. That's what it is. You think that, Fox News actually shares their talking points with other people. Okay. Yeah. So we're not going to talk about that. And yeah,
and that's another thing. And Very Santos is right too. That the mentality is that if you're poor, it's your lack of virtue. Poor people are seen as horrible people, as bad people. You must have done something incredibly bad to be poor. Like you come from criminals, or you yourself were.
However, inherited wealth though means that you're a good person.
Yeah, because that makes complete sense.
Because that's it.
And
believe it.
And I'm not surprised by what Ron says. He says people are seriously considering violent action. I've had to talk groups of people down from that shit. I'm not surprised. Look, I am not surprised.
Here's the horrible truth of it, whether you like it or not.
Because at this point,
we are at a point.
Well, can I just finish? Like I'm saying,
no.
When they're at the point where, if you have cancer or you have a loved one who's really sick or a child who's really sick or whatever, and right now they're benefiting from the system, they would die because you can't afford the care.
It literally is life or death for some people.
What do you have left? Like, I understand people getting to the point where they're like, fucking, I'm just going to go shoot some politicians or something. Like, I'm not saying go do it. Obviously, I don't condone that shit. But I'm saying I understand it. Look, like, your child is dying or your loved one is dying or whatever, and you're scared out of your fucking mind.
There are people, documented cases, there are people. I doubt it's a significant number, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of not small either.
Yeah.
That have chosen to commit federal crimes, right? There are old people that will walk into a bank and give the bank teller a note that says, "I'm here to rob all your money.
Yeah.
Give me all your money," just so they can get arrested, so that they can then get medical benefits, because prisoners, right, are all covered for medical.
Yeah, well, I heard that there was. Well, I've heard a couple of stories, but the one that sticks in my mind was an elderly black guy. I think he was suffering from cancer, actually, of some sort, and he robbed a corner store for like $100 just so he could, get tossed in. And he waited for the cops.
Not waiting to kill them or anything, just waiting to be taken into custody.
He told the guy at the counter, he's like, "No, call the police." He's like, call the police and give me $100. Like he was begging the dude to do it, and the dude called the cops, and he took the $100. He went outside and he sat down and he waited for the cops. And when they showed up, he was like, take me to jail, because he was absolutely desperate.
Yeah.
And that's just, and the dude was like in his 70s. And that's just sad to live your whole fucking life to end up like that.
I want to say this. Ron says, bread and circuses only work as long as people can afford bread. That's right. And he says, I can quote him on that. Yes, I think I will quote you on that. Yeah, there are people willing to go to prison just to access health care. So it doesn't surprise me that there, and let me tell you, there are people who see because I love to hear this ridiculous, well, just do what they tell you to do.
Yeah.
When you get pulled over by the cops or whatever. Like, that's no guarantee of a fucking thing, man.
No.
That's how many people die in custody, right? Yeah. When you are literally no longer a threat to anyone.
Yeah, and they're still killed.
Right, and they still end up dead.
Look at that kid, the one that we saw just recently, and he wasn't even black. He was a white kid. They tasered the shit out of him. They tortured him.
The cop said that he tortured him until he finished. Until the batteries were dead.
They had him restrained, and they just kept they could have killed the kid. Oh my god!
Yeah, if he'd had a heart condition or a pacemaker or anything like that.
He didn't have a heart condition before. I'm sure he does now.
He might have one now. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
So there's obeying the law is no guarantee. That you won't be killed,
and it doesn't seem to be a guarantee if you're white anymore.
Yeah, it's not that either. And so if you're at the point where you don't believe that you'll come out of, I understand why people are willing to gamble and say, well, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot me a cop then.
Because a very sad
I don't hold on, I don't advocate for this.
No.
I'm just saying I understand why people would think that.
Yeah. Understanding and advocating
are two different things. Understanding something and talking about it and explaining it is wildly different than endorsing it or whatever.
See, and this is the thing. Very Satos is right. She says, my mother's father died from heart complications due to pneumonia. He thought it was the flu, so he put off going to the clinic because he couldn't afford his copay. And that's the thing. My father's mother, my grandmother, moved to Texas when I think he was about 17. He decided to stay here. And the rest of his family moved down to Texas because she had COPD, that breathing problem.
Obstructive pulmonary disorder, right? I forget what the C stands for.
Yeah. And it turned into emphysema later on. But the doctor.
Chronic.
Yeah. The doctors told her that the humidity and the extreme cold here was not helping her. So she decided, I'll move down to Texas because it's a dry heat, right? So
it's a dry heat,
Mr. Panette. Yeah.
It's a dry heat, Mr. Panette.
Yeah, no. So she moved down there, and got citizenship and everything. And she died down in Texas in a trailer park.
Hee-haw!
Because she couldn't afford the care that she needed. She died at 67. I mean, Jesus Christ, if she had stayed here, she would have gotten care, but it would have exacerbated her breathing
symptoms.
Yeah. So, it's just, it's so fucking sad. It's unbelievable. So, I just remember when we first got married.
No.
No,
that was a blur. That's all a blur.
Yes,
sorry.
I smacked you on the head.
I saw everything kind of double vision.
Yeah.
Shit, so
I hit him in the head and dragged him off to the.
You pinko commies, always dragging people to gulags.
Well, that's how SJWs get married, right? They hit the guy in the head and drag him off.
Well, but isn't that what the evil psych dudes say? Rape is an evolutionary strategy designed to.
Yeah, but for them, they think it's the man doing it. See, it's actually anyways, whatever.
It's matriarchy. No, I can't even. No, patriarchy. No,
in all seriousness, though, remember.
Wait, I was being.
Shut up.
Oh yeah, I was joking. Totally, 100%.
You remember we debated for a while moving to New York.
Yeah, we did. I remember that. It was a brief insanity that
that you
passed
had
over me. And
yeah. You were like, yeah, we should move to the States, bring the girls, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I was always against it, but you for a while there, you were like, yeah, no, let's do
but this is before Trump, okay? In my defense, it was before Trump.
Yeah.
Now, no, I'd like to move further north if possible.
Yeah. He wants to go live with
I'll live with the fucking Eskimos if I gotta.
Yeah, he wants to move up with the Inuit and the polar bears and what's left of the polar bears.
yeah, what's left of the polar bears.
So yeah, no. But could you imagine if we?
I can take them now. They're all skinny and shit now. I can take a polar bear now. Before, I don't know, maybe 50-50 when they're healthy, but I can take them.
Yeah. But could you imagine if we'd done that? Like moved to the States?
Oh God, no.
Oh my God. I think I would have like run
back
over the border.
Look, before Donald Trump, I would very happily say to feminists, look, you don't really need it. It's not, I mean, yes, things aren't perfect. Of course, they never will be. But you got to work with what you got. But now with Trump, like, no, more feminists, please.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry, more feminists, please.
Very Santos is right. They could use a person yelling for their rights up there, as I recall. Yes, exactly. The Inuit could use
could use somebody to yell. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Very loud. And you can yell loudly.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
You're great.
I have one volume. This is my volume.
Well, that's what I mean.
Like, that's not yelling. This is my volume. This is my indoor voice.
We could go up there and do some activism.
This is my indoor voice. I can't yell.
I'll just cart you around everywhere. Up
yeah. That doesn't sound like radical feminism at all. You don't want to put me in a camp or nothing. No. Evil feminazi. Pinko commie SJW bastards.
Yeah, exactly. Move to the tundra. Another 20 years, you'll be growing bananas up there.
That's right.
Seriously.
If you live in the States, buy land in Arizona. It's going to be beachfront really soon.
Oh, my God. Yeah, seriously. It's crazy.
It's going to be beachfront really soon.
So, yeah, I mean, thank you, USA. You fucking Trump idiots. You've ruined the environment. More.
No, you got to give him a chance. You got to give him a chance. He might do something good.
Yeah. But I don't know. I've been listening to
See, that's your problem. You listen.
I've been listening to Carl from Swindon.
Oh no, you said its name.
Yeah, going on about socialism. Socialism sucks. Socialism doesn't work.
It does.
Okay, well, hey, fucktard. First of all,
don't be talking to Carl, man.
No, but
he's gonna get this video dinged because it's word rape. It's word rape.
Okay, hey, fucktard. First of all,
I think that counts as word rape.
I don't care.
Stop word raping the man.
They're only words, Carl.
No, words hurt.
Well, only if they come from Christiosity, not from me.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, but these are mixed economies, and socialism. You don't even know what you're fucking. He thinks socialism and communism are the same fucking thing because they both end in isms.
Wait. No. I want to get into this.
But he thinks feminism, socialism, communism. He's so stupid.
Lizard people, 9/11, and what's the other one he believes in? Is he a birther too?
No, Hitler in Argentina.
Oh, Hitler in Argentina. Yeah. Look.
Oh, and now people are saying, what was the other conspiracy I heard that I hoped he believed? The one that bitch was talking about. Soy is feminizing.
Oh, soy is feminizing.
Yeah.
I'm
like, I can't wait.
Who's that woman? Lordy, what the fuck is its name?
I don't know. Faith Goldie.
Faith Goldie, that's it. Lordy, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for him. Soy feminizes men and it makes them grow man titties and lowers their sperm count.
I gotta say, this seems to be a racialized problem.
Oh God!
I gotta say, this seems to be a racialized problem.
It's not just a racialized problem; it's sort of a class problem because most people who are poor, they're not going out buying the soy burgers and the soy this and the soy.
Well, there is that, but also white genocide, right? Everybody else seems to be doing fine in the fucking and having kids department.
Yeah.
Except for the white guys.
But I gotta say, like,
so I'm saying,
I was watching the video on socialism for dummies earlier, remember? And you listened to a bit of it, and I paused the video and I said, see, this is the kind of person that Sargon would think he's smarter than.
Yes, that's what I want to talk about.
Because he read a paragraph in a book or muddled his way through it or whatever. He would sit there and listen to this dude who's been doing this for his whole fucking life. Okay? He would sit there and go, no, I know better. I'm smarter. I'm this. No, you're wrong. Oh, fucking shut up, you big twat.
Look, there has always been and this is part of the fundamental difference between, right, when people particularly people who were fond of Fox News when Fox News was a thing, right? We got to look at both sides. Like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That is granting weak arguments the same platform as very good, strong, robust, well-researched, well-documented arguments, right? And this has been a strain of conservatism for as long as I have been politically aware of these things, which has been quite some time.
Yeah.
And that is that on the right, all of these because they're pretend intellectuals. Let's be real. I don't care if you have a PhD in physics. Being an intellectual is
no.
You can't just sit there and say that, there's this thing about all the feminists and all the the gender studies and all that stuff. Like, wait a minute. Agree with them philosophically, and you think their arguments are bad. That's for whatever else you may say about them, they are eloquent for the most part, right? They are well thought out, even though the thinking might be flawed. They are the result of years, decades of people reading and writing on these subjects.
Yeah.
And you sitting in a pub, you read Atlas Shrugged and you know better. Oh, well, fuck, of course. And this has always been a strain of I hate to call it thought on the right
of non-thought.
That some people do manage to pick themselves up by their bootstraps, and there are a lot of smart people who've never been inside of college. How does that not apply to people that have been in prison?
Yeah.
How is it that it applies to you but to no one else?
A lot of inmates become very well educated,
and they go because they got nothing better to do.
Yeah.
And so there's this strain of anti-intellectualism, which I classify as the inability or the lack of desire to put in the effort, to learn the things that that's why you always got to be saying that. That's why you'll always find these guys saying, well, I'm not an economist, but what
the Ron's comment.
Rhetoric is the word I use when talking about the right wing. I understand what you're saying. And rhetoric is usually what people mean by it. Although for me, I don't use that term in that way, only because the proper term for what I used to do is for a living, I was a rhetor. I was a teacher of rhetoric, and not just how to convince people for to agree with bad arguments, but how to convince people that you're right about something or that your opinion is worth something. So for me, it's slightly different. Technically, rhetoric is neither negative nor positive. It's just argumentation that proceeds without having all the facts or without being well researched. It's what you hear at a pub.
Yeah.
I think, so and so is a good politician because XYZ and things like that.
I don't want to end this stream right now. Okay. So address those two comments, and I'm gonna really run fast and go pee.
You're going to Jesus Christ. I don't think my wife understands the notion of patriarchy. But okay. Let's see. Gifon says, many years ago, I used to work in a bookstore. The number of people buying Atlas Shrugged broke something in me. They all look like Tom Clancy for some reason, too. Yes, Atlas Shrugged is a fairly popular book. I don't know how popular, although some people that are proponents of it claim that it's more popular than the Bible. I have no idea. But yes, Atlas Shrugged is a child's version of philosophy. I'm sorry, but Rand was a poor philosopher, and she was an even worse writer. She was very bad at writing. That's why you get these speeches that are pages and pages and pages of boring ass text. And the John Galt speech and all the rest of it. That guy, I forget the Spanish guy's name, the character in the book. Humongous speeches that are just her pontificating, right? I could see where that would like break your spirit. Avery says, my mother's a smart person that's never been in a college. She pretty much actually skeptical of the things she hears. Taught me to ask experts clarification or learn more about something. Well, yes. There is also a robust history of autodidacticism, not only in the United States, but prior to that in England and other places too. And don't forget, a lot of people learned, even the more famous ones, learned outside of universities for a lot of what they did, and only became university professors and things like that after the fact. So there's a robust history of autodidacticism. The problem is that it requires a ton of effort. And reading a couple of books, reading Atlas Shrugged and Wealth of Nations, shit, I did that in high school.
Yeah.
These guys, especially online and the YouTubers, right? They'll read a couple books and they think they've got a firm grasp on what. If you had a firm grasp on this shit, people wouldn't constantly be telling you, stop strawmanning me.
Or
that's not the argument.
You're a moron. Because, I mean, that's not me.
A delayed flush. Okay. all of these things that you claim to learn so that you can make your YouTube. You got to remember a YouTube video. Even
Ron says, don't forget the art of the deal.
Oh, yes. The art of the deal. Yes. So you read the art of the deal. You read Atlas Shrugged.
And Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yes. His dirty faggot, is it? Dangerous faggot?
Dirty faggot.
I whatever the fuck it is. Dirty faggot, dangerous faggot. I don't know. You read these three things and then you think, or four things, and you think that you're qualified. You're not even qualified to tell a feminist shit.
Yeah.
Okay, because whatever you might say, brain power to get through an entire 4 or 5 year course of study, where all you're doing is reading books and papers and writing about them.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why universities exist. And if you're that fucking smart that you're going to enter the public discourse, you better come correct. You better be right every single time. That's the price you pay for being an autodidact, right? You have to constantly claim, or you have to constantly prove.
Yeah.
Right? The thing about universities is that you get to sort of sometimes skip over that a little bit.
See people like Carl of Fucktard. He thinks he's proving is right, but he's not. and you're not right. You're just stupid.
Well,
You know? You read a pamphlet and you think you know everything.
Well, what I used to tell my students is very simple. And this is for instructional purposes only, right? There are two types of statements: statements of fact, and right. You can divide statements in all sorts of other ways. This is just a basic taxonomy of so people that are not familiar with writing or rhetoric or public speaking like that can get a grasp on writing a speech, right? So I would tell them, look, there's two kinds of statements. There are factual statements, and there are statements of your opinion on something.
Yeah.
And what I would ask my students would be, all right, well, can a factual statement, can an opinion be right or wrong? And you'd be surprised how many people get the actual answer wrong.
Yeah.
An opinion can never be right or wrong.
Yeah,
it can never.
It's just an opinion.
It's not. You can support it. You know, you can use facts. Now, I would ask them, well, can a fact be right or wrong?
Yeah.
And again, with this, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Facts can be wrong. That's the whole point of a fact. It makes a claim about something, which you can verify independently of the claim or of the person making it, right? Mm-hmm. And they get these confused all the time. Yeah. And this is one of the things that these guys do literally all the time. They get the facts wrong, and then they make shit up about everything else.
Look, Very Sato says, I seriously saw someone say they were against intersectional feminism, but not regular feminism. I really don't think the words mean what they think they mean. And then Ron says, when people say they're against intersectional feminism, I always ask them why Black women don't deserve to vote. And see, that's the thing. We live in a too long didn't read, let's listen to Sargon kind of society.
Yes.
Right? Let's listen to the stupidest person possible. And they think things like intersectional feminism is evil. They think that things like social socialism or an evil thing. They think that things like social services are horrible things. They think cultural Marxism is a thing. You know, they think that what was the other one? Postmodernism is like the most evil thing on the planet. See, and they don't even know what any of these are. They don't know what any of them mean.
They know what they have been told. It is a particular thing.
I mean, they've constructed in their heads these ideas that don't even make any sense to anyone who understands what these words mean. Like social justice. You say social justice, and they lose their shit. Why? Social justice isn't a bad thing. In fact, you fucking benefit from it every single fucking day. But because you see some boogeyman everywhere, now it's like the most evil thing on the fucking planet.
A lot of these guys, let's not forget, a lot of these guys are the embarrassed millionaires. They, you know, they would be super rich, except that, you know, I stole my bootstraps.
If you're gonna say this, NFL Guru 22 just showed up and he says, "Show me a thriving society under socialism." Now, I'm just going to put this out there. If you say something that's stupid, I'm not even going to answer. You know why? Because you're stupid.
Well, I can't grant the premise of the question.
But you don't understand. What you're showing me with this question is that you don't understand anything other than in black and white terms, right? There's no gray area for you. You are led to believe by stupid people online that it's either or, and there's nothing else in between. And so I'm just not even going to entertain your mental diarrhea. How's that?
Look, here's the thing about it. You know? Here's the thing. I'll draw you a picture with your mental diarrhea. Look, asshole. At the very beginning, we said, that any society, and let me put it explicitly so it's very, very
or
clear.
Maybe you should have listened to the beginning of this before. You know.
Any society that is wholly capitalistic or wholly socialist or communist or whatever, it won't work. That all successful societies contain an admixture both of command economies and free market economy, right? Every successful society has a segment that is a free market or free as possible. And every successful society has some socialized portion of the economy. It's that simple. So show me a successful society that is socialist. You want me to say the Soviet Union, or you want me to say Cuba, and none of that is the case because no one made that claim. You straw man shit because in reality, you don't have an argument, because the reality is that you need both a segment of an economy that is free market, where people are free as possible within the bounds of fucking thinking, that allows them to innovate and create and hire people and fire people and set their own rates for things and so on. But you need a part of the economy that is devoted to, what if you break both your fucking legs? What if you actually are get to the ripe old age of 90 and you can no longer work? Are you going to, like some Inuit groups, put people on an ice floe and send them off into the great unknown to starve to death? Because that doesn't seem quite civilized to me.
See, look, I'm just like, there are plenty of things that you can watch online, right? On YouTube. There are plenty of things, but people choose to listen to idiots like Sargon and
Black Pigeon Speech, Undoomed, all these other not economists, not educated, so not trained people.
Why not, instead of drinking the Kool-Aid over in Stupidsville,
Stupidville,
just go find some actual economists and online and listen to their stuff on socialism, capitalism, communism, and actually learn and form an opinion based on actual information, actual fact, actual history, instead of listening to someone who's going, the SJWs are out to get us and it's the worst scourge in human history.
Look,
I mean,
if you want to look at the history of it, unbridled free market capitalism leads inexorably to monopoly.
Yep.
It does. Yep. Every single time you try to deregulate shit too much, people do bad things. It's that fucking simple. Yep. They steal money, they embezzle, they do all sorts of shit. When they repealed Glass-Steagall, that is one of the that's one of the biggest things that led to the economic collapse of 2008. That is one of the when you regulate shit so people can't steal too much, and you regulate shit so they can't poison the environment, those are good fucking things. Now, do you want to regulate to the point where every doctor gets paid the same? Probably not. I don't think that's going to work too well. But again, that's a straw man built up by the Reaganomics pushers and the neocons from the 80s. And if anybody were that old online that cared enough about you fucking millennials, they would probably mention some of this shit to you.
Yeah.
And maybe you would learn some shit.
I think that one of the saddest things to me is that people listen to these idiots online.
Well, because they need a they need a faith in which to believe. That is one thing that I feel bad for the millennials about. That one thing that
not all, but
no, clearly, one thing that postmodernism has done in the let me say this first. One thing that that postmodernism has successfully done is it has questioned all power. Part of the process of deconstruction. It's a whole other thing that people that bitch about postmodernism know nothing about either. Deconstruction and structuralism and all this other stuff.
Listen to people like Jordan Peterson prattle
shit all
on
over them. Yeah, shit all over themselves.
But what I love about him is he's shitting all over himself about postmodernism while using postmodernist arguments, and I'm like, dude, you're just so stupid.
Well,
you're like,
what I want,
but his followers, they're like, yeah, like stupid idiot. Bobbleheads.
What I wanted to say was about this postmodernism stuff is this. That whole Pepe meme thing?
Yeah.
That is the quintessential postmodernist endeavor. It is exactly, specifically, and I know the leftists won't like this very, very much. So the ones who know what I'm talking about won't like it too much.
Yeah.
But it is quintessentially, specifically, the most postmodern thing on the internet today.
Yeah.
And it is, whether you like it or not, probably one of the most successful examples of culture jamming.
Yeah.
Which is so fucking postmodern.
Yep.
It is exactly what postmodernism does.
Yep.
It subverts.
It's like putting a urinal on its side and trolling,
Yes,
the art
it's
world.
like what is it? Nespazum peep.
Peep.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
That's what it is. It is exactly setting the religious world and the moralizing people.
Oh, Ron wants to know what culture jamming is.
Culture jamming is taking specifically, right? You take a medium and subvert it for your own purposes, right? Usually to counter the message that's being given you, right?
Yeah.
So you would say advertising is bad on a billboard.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
It's sort of
that's a simplistic way of putting it, but that's essentially what it is. You would say that.
It's to turn something on its head, I guess, is one way of.
Well, part of it, but it's specifically geared toward cultural critique.
Yeah.
Toward criticizing usually the dominant culture by subverting the messages it sends you, right? Or the messages you see being produced by it, right?
Yeah.
Like having a what they call now a plus size model, right?
Yeah.
On a Calvin Klein billboard. If you saw that would be that, right? Where you're going against the grain, against the culturally accepted norm via the use of its own medium or media.
So he
via
says
its own media.
So Ron says, so like They Live or the Fire Festival?
Sort of, although the thing about this is that it's a matter of perspective. So I see where you might be right about that. Yeah. But at the same time, people are going to go, no, well, because it's against the cultural norms. And other people will go, no, but it is the cultural norm.
Yeah.
So, this is one of those things that's actually very good about what these guys derisively call the gender studies degrees and everything. It teaches you to marshal evidence, because you can't be right. All you can do is convince someone that you are right by virtue of, and then you point out why you think you're right. And this is where all those papers that they generate come from. And a lot of them are ridiculously stupid. Here's another example of culture jamming that it depends on who you ask, right? The SoCal hoax.
Yeah.
Right? Alan Sokol, if you don't know, was a professor of, I think, astronomy or physics. And he wrote a paper and submitted it to a literary journal. And he deliberately wrote the paper as gobbledygook.
Okay.
As stuff that no reputable scientist, he's a scientist, right? No reputable scientist would say about literature or society or culture. And it was accepted for publication in a literary journal, which then is used as an example of how the left or the humanities in universities, right? Of how they are out of touch with anything remotely resembling reality.
Yeah.
Which is to some extent true. which is to some extent true.
So yeah, culture jamming. It's interesting.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a theory thing, you know. So it's not really a thing.
It's interesting to learn about
that. But Pepe is culture jamming. The flying spaghetti monster is culture jamming. All of that kind of stuff. That's what that is.
How come your settings on your channel don't let some messages through? Some of these
probably for words.
Go make sure that we didn't drop out. Just go check the in Chrome. No, we're still live. Okay. I don't know why some of your comments are not going through, so I'll read them out. Very sad news says they're seriously telling universities and professors over on Twitter they're wrong about the Roman era Britain as an ethnically diverse place. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's what this did. The BBC put out a video describing
whitewashing
Roman. No. They're describing Roman civilization, right?
Yeah, I know, but how when the paint wore off of some of the statues.
No, that's not. No. Separate thing. So they put out this cartoon, and in the cartoon, there's a black guy, brown woman, I think, right? And Paul Joseph Watson, retard that he is, said that, you know, it's not historically accurate and whatever, because no brown people, no black people in Roman era.
Yeah, no, never.
in Britannia.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And like this historian, I think it's at Stuckberry, I think.
Yeah, I think
Stuch Berry.
Stuck.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, he's a historian. He's like, yeah, no. There was colored people there.
Yeah, Very Santo says, I'm actually quite glad he did that. I found a lot of historians to follow.
yes. It's not always, you know, you can always make lemonade.
Just to go back to the culture jamming, Ron says, so it's not just a counterculture. Oops. It's counterculture that no, wait. Blah, 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 blah. Hold on. So it's not just a counterculture. It's a counterculture that reappropriates counterculture.
Yes and no. It's so unsatisfying. It is. Now, look, here's the thing, right? The way that it's phrased, the way that it's been built up, the way that it's been talked about and written about in universities does skew to the left, as if it's the counterculture, that it's counter to capitalism and counter to, you know, all these other right-wing sort of things, but it's not, because it's a theory, and this is where feminists.
I think he gets it right here though. In the follow-up comment, he says, or rather, it's a counterculture that reappropriates the culture that it's explicitly against.
Yes. That's it. Yes. Yes. Yeah, the thing of it is that if you go and read about it, you'll read about it from the perspective of, admittedly, largely people on the left, or people who are more liberal, right? In the modern version of the word liberal, right? And so very often, and this is where I break with a lot of feminists and a lot of the feminist theory. It's explicitly feminist theory is explicitly based on some form of what we now call identity politics, right? But it's theory, so it has to apply across the board, right? It has to be true, irrespective of the incidental changes that that you might tweak it with, right? It's got to be like science, in that when the scientists have a theory and they find examples that contradict it, they throw it out because it doesn't work.
Yeah, let me just, can I just address this for a second? I don't know why, but some of the comments in the live chat are not going through, and I don't think it's us. I think it's YouTube, but I see them right here. So if you guys have a question and it doesn't go through, I will read it out for everyone. And one more thing I just want to address. Patrick says, and this is in reference to
Bearing is on here?
No, it's not Bearing.
Sorry, Patrick. I'm sorry.
Not everyone named Patrick.
The only Patrick that I know online is Bearing. And no, I didn't dox him.
No.
Everybody knows his name.
this is in reference to people like Sargon and stuff, right? He says, they don't know anything about anything. I feel so unbelievably stupid for taking them seriously. You shouldn't feel stupid.
Don't. Look,
look, you're not taking them seriously now, are you? So you're not stupid, and you've learned something. I think that is not, that's completely opposite to being stupid.
Look,
right? You came out, then you went in.
Look,
right?
Lemon and lemonades, right? If you're one of the followers of these people, right, or like a fan or whatever, however you want to classify yourself, and then you discover, oh shit, these people are fucking retards, that's a good thing. But you can't beat yourself up about it, because it is a cult. It works exactly like a cult.
Yeah.
Right. So anybody can fall into it, even the smartest person, even the most well-trained person. It's one of those things, right? So it can happen. But more importantly, if you get something out of it,
yeah.
Right. There are authors that I hadn't heard of before.
Yeah.
Because in serious discourse, it's not done. But like E. Belford Bax or Dax or whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
Bax.
I read a book by him, I don't know, like years ago, back when we were more involved with the men's rights people. And I had never heard of this person before.
Yeah.
And it's not a particularly good book, but it did give me insight at that time. No, that's somebody else.
Okay.
That's oh my god.
Briffaut.
Yeah, Briffaut, right.
Sorry.
And another person that I had not heard of.
Yeah.
Another person and I spent a significant number of years in academia, right? And I had not heard of this person. And it was an interesting 3 fucking volumes.
Oh my god. Yeah, we found it. We found it on eBay, the only copy on eBay, and it's an old.
Yeah, because I hate reading because there's an annotated condensed version. How
many pages are
which is like 500, but the real version is like 3 volumes of about 800 to 1,000 pages each.
Yeah, it's huge.
But I got them and read them, and it was very enlightening in terms of getting a better grasp on how people thought back in that at that time, and how they formulated their arguments, which was a good thing for me, right? So just because you find out the emperor is wearing no clothes, it doesn't mean you can't learn something about the emperor or the government.
I don't think you should think that, or that you are stupid, because he says here, I feel like I've grown so much intellectually since moving on from their community. Yes, exactly. Because see the bullshit, right? And you sort of wake up and go, oh my God, yes, that's complete crap. You're not remaining in that ignorant, stupid place, right? You're moving away from it, and you've learned something. I think you should always take something away with you. And part of that is you learn how they think, you learn how they react as a community, and you can use that to move on and to better yourself, and right? And to understand how they are and where they're stuck.
And don't get it twisted, right? There are times when these guys are factually correct, and that's a positive. That's a positive thing. I learned back in the MRA days, or the men's rights days.
I was in the same place.
That these guys, that 1 in 5 statistic, I learned where it comes from.
Yeah.
Right. And this statistic was used by Obama and a lot of other people in public.
Yeah.
And you kind of want to believe it because, Obama's not a dumbass.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to believe him.
At the time, he was the president. And so when he's saying something, a lot of people are going to be like,
well, he's supposed to be speaking ex cathedra, right?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be an authority on this stuff that he's going to speak about, if only by proxy, right? By hiring an actual expert, right?
Yeah.
But in any event, I learned that particular study contained that caveat, and and the caveat was that the study authors were very explicit about not overgeneralizing the findings and whatever, which you know what is generally true of most of these things.
Yeah, but that they had to come out and actually say it because everybody was. There was
Everybody
sort of
was
a narrative
a lot of
that
feminists
all of
were
a sudden
abusing
blew up
this.
and went out of control because of that study, right? So the authors had to come out and say, "Whoa, everybody, let's dial it back a bit."
Well, it's in the study too, right? It's in the study.
Yeah,
itself.
I know, but how many people read?
Right,
studies?
a lot of people don't read the studies.
They read the news articles
about the studies,
which a lot of the time are not accurate at all. Which is why I always search out the study and actually read the study.
So I learned something that to me wasn't a talking point. It was an important thing to learn, and that was that the study, even by the lights of the study authors, is not to be overgeneralized. And I found that a lot of feminists did not know this.
Yeah.
I found that a lot of feminists who I talked to online were like, yeah, but 1 in 5. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Even the authors say, don't overgeneralize.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and at the time that, you know, that was an important thing for me to know.
I think that Ron is really right here when he's speaking to Patrick. He says, focus on what you know now. Focus on not repeating the same mistakes you made before. You don't get to do over the events of the past, but you can change your future. And I think that's, you know, that's the thing. You need to keep moving forward and you need to keep learning. And I don't see, like, when I was part of AVFM and when I was an anti-feminist and all this, I wasn't a nice person. I was a horrible person. But I don't see that as me being stupid or me making humongous mistakes.
You're just a horrible person.
I see that as a time in my life where I wasn't doing things right, but I've learned from it and I can now move forward and check myself so that I don't end up falling back into that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, you grew as a person. Yes.
Yeah, and I think it's never too late to do that. I don't think
it is. I'm almost dead.
I don't think it's ever too late to learn and to move forward and to keep, you know, asking questions and reading things and figuring things out. I don't, people say, oh yeah, but you're in your 40s. Shouldn't you be past this? No, you never stop learning. You never stop growing as a person. What the fuck?
Look. Oh, I love this. Guru 22.
Why are you
Quote,
here again?
If the majority agreed with left-wing content and it made sense. Shit,
he means Ron.
Yeah. There would be more, period. Yeah, that's not true. Think I'm talking to the wrong crowd. Calling people assholes and shunning them doesn't make others warm to your ideas.
Well, then stop asking stupid questions.
No, wait. No, because wait. Then what you're telling me is that you're literally telling me that you allow yourself to be ruled by your emotional content, irrespective of what the facts might show you, and therefore you come to conclusions based on how those people make you feel.
Okay, here's a little. I'm going to give you a little lesson, NFL Guru. I'm going to give you a little lesson so maybe you won't, stick your foot up your ass next time.
Isn't it English,
when you come in?
Yeah, whatever.
No,
whatever.
He's talking out of his ass. So
okay, yeah.
Okay. When you come in to a chat or something, if you don't want to be called an asshole or have people assume that you're trying to have a gotcha moment or, be like a fucking troll or something, maybe instead of saying, name me one socialist country that
really pissed you off, didn't it?
No, because it's a dumb question.
Yeah, it was kind of a dumb question.
Maybe you should have said, are there any socialist countries that are purely socialist that have worked? Because I don't know of any. Then I would have answered that, in an adult way, and I would have treated you like an adult. But you pounced into the chat.
Don't be coming in my chat with your shit
like a little troll with the I'm gonna get them.
You really hate trolls, don't you?
Yeah, I do, and I got no time for your ass.
Because I troll.
And I'm a moderator here, so watch it buddy, or I will kick you out. So yeah, so act like an adult, and maybe you'll get treated like an adult. Act like an idiot, and yeah, there you
go. Sarah Santos says they really hate me over there, especially Dean Esme. Join the club, lady.
Oh, Dean.
Join the club.
Dean.
Yeah, Dean doesn't like me much either.
Dean hates us.
I kept insisting that they give evidence for that lie that they keep trying to spread about us.
Yeah, but he doesn't even call himself Dean Esme online anymore. He's Max.
Is that right?
Yeah, Max Colby. That's it.
Max Colby.
Yeah.
All I did was ask him a question he couldn't answer. Well, see, that's the problem with religious people, like the explicitly religious, like the fundamentalist kind of religious people. He thinks everything should have an answer, and that if he doesn't have one, well, then that's bad. That's bad on you for asking.
Yeah. So, I don't have any time. Sorry, NFL guru, if I've hurt your feelings, but I don't have any time to.
You should be wary of feelings.
I don't have any patience anymore.
You have no fucks to give.
I have no fucks to give for this stupidity anymore. I will talk to people who are an adult about shit.
I'm happy to not talk to most of these motherfuckers.
I really,
because I don't.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna be a troll, if you're gonna be a shit lord, Yeah. I'm not talking to you. What for? What for? If you have something important to say, like I mentioned before, tell your nearest grown up and have them tell me.
Yeah, apparently the stream keeps stopping, and it's not us. It's fuck you, YouTube.
YouTube doing shit.
Fuck you, YouTube. Oh. Yeah, okay, NFL guru. You've been fun and all, but
are there any adults those you agree with?
Bye-bye.
There are plenty of adults I disagree with.
Bye-bye. I told you.
As a matter of fact, I will just point this out, and it's a thing that I'm working on. The fact is that I have found smarter, more intelligent, more moral people amongst the religious than I ever did amongst the online atheists.
Isn't that sad?
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I know.
And back then I didn't, because I was very, staunch atheist. But I have better interactions with people with whom I desperately disagree.
Yeah.
I completely disagree with, your idea of going to church or believing in God or praying or
Yeah.
I desperately disagree with all that shit. Decent conversations, and I have come to the conclusion that is not
it's not something I want to label myself anymore.
No, it's not a good label.
It has so many negative connotations these days. Like,
and it's not.
It goes hand in hand with rationalist and skeptical, and oh my god, all these things that I just don't want to be associated with anymore. God.
And so there are people that I disagree with that are grown-ups and that do have, things to offer.
Yeah.
Not so in the skeptic community.
The skeptic.
I call it the skepticology community because it's very much a religion now.
It's gangrenous.
Is that a reference to Lacey Green?
It's gone past being septic. It's now like gangrenous.
Is that a reference to Lacey Green?
No, actually it wasn't. But if you wanted to be.
You missed it. Then you missed it. Alrighty. So let's see.
Yeah, I know. YouTube seems, and I'm just going to address 006D here. He says, all live streams cut out, but normal vids don't fuck. YouTube, LOL. Yeah, see, I was watching videos for maybe the last 3 days, and I saw you were doing the same thing. Is they cut out like 10 minutes in, and the little thing starts spinning.
I've seen that a couple times.
And you got to refresh the fucking window.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what the hell are they doing?
Well, Homero 152 says anyone can be good though, regardless of religious beliefs. Yeah, I think you can.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
Oh yeah.
I didn't used to really grant that idea though.
Yeah.
I think that, as I recall, I did not believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that to be a good person, you had to not be like you had to explicitly not be religious, which is silly.
Yeah.
Not to say stupid, because I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I was stupid. Maybe
I was
could have been
stupid.
sort of, maybe a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think it's fine to disagree with people. Verisato says, I disagree with you guys sometimes, but I'm a fucking adult, and when I don't agree, I don't have to give you shit over it. Yeah, I think, you know, people can disagree without being assholes to one another.
Oh yeah, you can tell me you disagree. That's fine.
I don't
think
agree.
that's okay.
I don't agree with people like Christiosity and Christy Winters and Steve Shives. And
yeah, I disagree
even
with
Kevin. Even
stuff.
Kevin. There's a lot of things I disagree with them on. But I don't fucking hate them, and I'll be like, yeah, no, I don't think it's that way. I think it's, and here's my reasons why. And you know, we can have a fucking adult conversation about this shit.
Well, here's the thing that
I've done it with
out.
Micaiah on live streams where she, you know, or she, oh, I always do that, where he'll say something and I'll be like, yeah, well, no, I think it's, and we learn from each other, and I. You know what?
Here's the distinction that I would make. Here's the distinction that I want people, if anything, to take away from this rambly stream, is that there isn't a dichotomy, right?
I don't even agree with you all the time.
Yeah,
I'm married to your ass.
And I think you misunderstand the nature of patriarchy.
Oh, shut up.
Patriarchy.
Yeah.
There is no it's not a two-way street. This is this notion that we inherit from news, this fair and balanced bullshit.
Yeah.
Not every argument is created equal, right? So I can disagree with a Christian.
Like what Ron said, he says, I don't even agree with myself sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Yeah, well, that's the schizophrenia setting in. But don't feel bad, you know. Probably keep you saner than most of the people online anyway. You can have a disagreement with a Christian or with a Muslim or with a Jewish person on the nature of God, or maybe whether God exists or not, and you know. But they'll probably not want you dead.
Yeah. Right?
But then there are people out there who, you know, irrespective of what the reality of, like, say, IQ or race or economics or whatever, I have seen MRAs. There's one particular MRA whose name I'm not going to mention, and it's not who you think is not. It's some obscure ass motherfucker that like 10 people listen to or some shit. That actually wants to keep people that he considers to be SJWs and whatever, in order to like kill them when the time comes.
Yeah.
I can't have a conversation with you if you want to kill me.
Well, no, if you're insane like that, no.
Yeah. So you know, we could agree or disagree on 100 other things.
Yeah.
But if at the end of the day you want me dead,
yeah, no.
I'm probably not going to be able to agree with you on most things.
Yeah.
Because you fundamentally don't value human life in the same fashion that I do, clearly. Because you know what? I wouldn't kill Adolf Hitler if I could go on. You know that stupid question, right? Go back in a time machine. No. I probably would take him away from his parents and throw him in somewhere in Kansas or something.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to kill a baby.
No, it wasn't Paul Elam and it wasn't Dean Esme.
No, not Paul Elam and not Dean Esme. Not good. Well, no, they're not obscure MRAs, but a very obscure one. You haven't heard of them, and I'm not going to mention them.
Probably not.
And I'm not going to mention who it is.
Can I give a hint?
No, you cannot give a hint. Stop talking about people. It's not nice. Oh. That's my job. Oh. It's my job. I'm the dick.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah, unreasonable being an understatement in this case. Yes, exactly.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, look, if you know, you look at the alt-right, and that's what you see.
Yeah.
Because look, Millennial Woes, right? That's like he's famous guy. That's not who I was talking about, by the way. He's not an MRA that I know of. Anyway, that he's superior to me.
If you DM me, I might tell you who.
No, you're not telling anybody. Look, that Millennial Woes character and the Richard Spencer character, they think that just off the bat, they know more than me because they're smarter, because on average, more white people get better grades on IQ tests than other colored people do.
Ridiculous.
I can't. What do you want me to say to you? Nothing I say to you, you're not going to grant anything that I say to you.
Yeah.
You know, based on the fact that my skin is darker than yours. So we start from completely different.
Yeah.
Right. I'm willing to grant you that you might be right about anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
You say that, but you only mean it for other white people.
And for me.
And, you know, the same thing with the Hoteps, by the way.
And
you know?
The thing for me is, like, I don't know, maybe it's just because I turned 41, you know, a couple of days ago, and, you know, I you know, now I'm over that 40 hump. And I just feel like, you know, look, I've made it this far, and I know what I know because I've researched it and I've read and I've done the work, and, you know, I just don't have the patience to sit down with someone who actually believes that IQ in black people is lower than IQ in white people. I don't have the patience to sit there and walk you through it.
And then we should develop moral rules about this stuff.
Why you're a fucking moron. You know what? No.
The same thing with the feminists who say that all men are about to be rapists and shit. You know, I mean, yeah. I don't got that kind of patience. Well, I don't think I ever really did have that kind of patience. I gotta say,
I had that patience.
I have patience with my kids because they're kids.
It seems to be waning in my old age, so you know. New drinking game: take a shot every time your tube cuts out. You're gonna be drunk in about 5 seconds.
Hey, Rod Line says, "Joe, I don't care if your skin is dark, but you are a Canadian. I can't let that pass." Yes, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help that. That was accidental. I meant to be born in Europe.
Yeah.
I meant to be born somewhere in Europe, but my mom was not cooperating on that day.
The next stream we do, let's talk about IQ, because I got a couple of fucking opinions on IQ that I want to get out there.
Okay, well, I was intending to do in intellectualism.
Well, we can do both of them on the
autodidacticism. Okay, so I think it's sort of the same stuff.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a long stream, though.
Yeah,
that's going to be a long stream. So that'll be like next week, I suppose, because I want to do some rereading of stuff.
Yeah. Well, what are we? We're Monday today, so we'll do next Monday.
Yeah, we'll do that one on next Monday. But and
I want to do streams on my channel, but I can't because my video on V got dinged by a bunch of butthurt babies.
Free speech warriors.
Yeah, so now I have to wait until October, I think it is.
Yeah, Arisado says, I also avoid TERFs because I want to strangle them slowly. Transgender people have enough problems without their shit.
Yeah, exactly.
See, look, here's the thing about that, right? I am not I don't really know a lot. I'm more than happy to say that I don't know a lot about this. But I'm not basing anything I say on what on this lack of information. What I'm saying is I'm perfectly happy to learn from people who are trans about their experiences and stuff like that. And I do want to see like the science behind, you know, like that male female brain stuff and all that kind of stuff. And I do, if we're going to talk about how whether or not we should allow children to take those
the hormone
blocker thing,
and
then the hormone therapy when they're older or whatever. I'm happy to look at all that science. But see, here's the thing, right? I don't care who or what you look like, who or what you're doing, you know, as long as you're not hurting anyone else. I'm happy to let you be you. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a job or that you shouldn't have a place to pay or that everybody should assume that you're a pedophile. Or all that other shit, all that moral shit, all the things that have these moral values attached.
Yeah.
You're a human being, and I'm happy to treat you as a human being, so long as you act like one.
Yeah.
Because like there are people like Blair White, who's trans, right?
Yeah.
So she, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She's a bitch. She's a fucked up kind of an immoral person.
Yeah.
You know.
See, look.
So
I mean, I've listened,
and it doesn't matter. You know what?
This is the thing I'll end on for this stream, but I'll say, look, I've listened to Blair White, and she's so full of hate and negativity. I don't learn anything from her other than being angry and outraged. But when I started talking to Micaiah, who's also transgender, I learned so much. And I keep learning, and I have DMs with Micaiah. You know, sometimes something I'll like a question will pop in my head in regards to something about, you know, transgenderism, and or is that even a word, transgenderism? I don't even know. You know, so I'll DM Micaiah and I'll be like, look, you know, I really don't want to talk about this in public because I might get it wrong, you know. And
haha, you're trying to make him a spokesperson for the trans community. That's what you're horrible.
But my point being,
well, who are you gonna ask?
That I learn so much just by listening and by, you know, trying to understand things from people like Micaiah's perspective, right? And Micaiah is not the only transgender person I've spoken to, but dealing with these negative, fucking horrible people like Blair White, you can learn a lot, and you can learn a lot of acceptance and a lot of, you know, humanity. Whereas when you listen to someone like Blair White, all you get is hate and loathing.
Patrick in the chat says, Blair White is playing a character, in my opinion. Her persona has changed massively since she's learned playing the mean girl's persona gets views. Now, I'm perfectly willing to accept that. Yeah. The problem is that in accepting that, I have to also accept that I'm being lied to. And once I accept that I'm being lied to, then I can't trust what you say. And then so if you're going to be an entertainer, that's great. If Carl fancied himself an entertainer and built himself like that, I would be like, yeah, look at that. He's dancing because the organ grinder's grinding away at the organ. Yeah. Look at him dance. Look at him go. Woohoo. But if you pretend to know what you're talking about, like be a serious person about what, you know, the subjects that you cover, then I got a problem with that, because now I can't believe a word you say.
Yeah. And I think that it's just sad that, you know, the people that spew the hate for the clicks or whatever, like Blair White, are the ones that get the attention and the ones that get the views and they're the ones that people are listening to, and young people who are impressionable. Whereas people like Micaiah and stuff who actually do research and who actually present like facts and really good solid information and shit, they have like virtually no one listening to them. Yeah. And I find that incredibly sad, and too of society at large.
Yeah, Gifan says Blair is A, young, and B, comes from money. Once you know that, it all seems pretty easily explained. Well, yes, it is. Yes, it does explain a lot.
Sarah, if you don't know who she is, count yourself lucky.
Here's the thing, right? I don't have a problem with people being young who are young, and I don't have a problem with them making mistakes or saying stupid things.
Hell, who doesn't when they're young?
You know, young people do that. It's okay to do that. It's part of being young. You know, but that's the thing, right? And this is why I've always quite sincerely advocated for some form of like a driver's license for being on the internet. No, quite sincerely, I really think that this should be a thing, because it's a powerful tool, and not Blair. I mean, the internet.
Blair's not a powerful tool.
Well, you know, Blair's a powerful tool.
Stop it.
I'm just saying. It's a powerful tool, and you should be careful what you're doing with it. You really should. But if you're not going to be, then that's okay too. You know, just, you know, don't be fucking making bank off of this shit. And, you know, don't try to be a grown-up. If you're not and look, it's okay if you're 23 years old and you act like a 12-year-old. Just, you know, don't tell me you're a grown-up. I got no problem. You know, it's people tell me all the time, well, you're just, you know, you're this or you're that. You're bigoted against young people. No. No, I'm not. I just want you to be who you are.
We have a young people here in our house.
Yeah, we have a young people.
Yes.
And if you are a dumb young person,
can you believe she's gonna be 16 soon?
Oh God, don't pretend to know more than you know. I don't pretend to know a fucking thing about medicine or physics.
Wait, Gafon says, I'm opposed to a driver's license for being on the internet because I'd be in jail for multiple DUIs.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. You do it. Yeah, that's true. Oh, I guess you're going to have to like internet sober. Yeah, you know they ought to put a breathalyzer on all the computers.
Gafon should never tweet sober. No.
Well, you know, I mean, presumably it would not include a breathalyzer on your computer.
Could you imagine it won't unlock unless
you breathe into the tube. Breathe into the tube, young man.
You have to get a dog to like breathe over the tube or something. Oh God.
Yeah, no, we're not ready for this.
No,
Humanity is not ready for this.
Humanity was not ready for the internet. So.
No, we were not. And it's an even more pronounced lack of readiness when you talk about young people. That's why you keep getting. That's why it's you know why it's such a thing when someone like Anthony Weiner gets caught sending dick pics.
Oh God.
Because grown-ups aren't supposed to do that. But then you have those other cases where like they're prosecuting 15 and 16-year-old kids for child pornography.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, she just took a picture of her titties and sent it to her boyfriend, and then she dumped her boyfriend, and the boyfriend kept the picture and pasted it all over everybody's phones at school. That's not fucking child porn. I mean, technically it is.
Yeah.
But it's really a teenager being an idiot and then another teenager being a dick about it.
McKay has been triggering people by saying that everyone deserves the basic requirements to survive: food, shelter, fresh water.
Yeah. Look, if
I know that's like apparently so triggering.
That's a big thing. Yeah. If you're gonna be a civilized society or pretend that you're a civilized society, yeah, you can't do what the Spartans did. Yeah. You can't put the 7-year-olds out on the mountainside, and if they survive, then good.
Yeah.
And if they get eaten, fuck them. That doesn't do society any favors.
Yeah. So I think we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah, sure.
I'm getting a little parched. I need to go.
It's Tuesday too.
No.
It's Tuesday. Shut up. It's Tuesday.
Oh God.
Schlong.
What the hell?
006 says.
Oh, schlong. Like, what the hell? Oh,
schlong.
I didn't scroll down. I didn't see it.
Let's see. I don't know. Patrick says his videos. I don't know who TJ's video. Yes, I haven't seen them on the flip. I'm at the point where I don't talk to her. You know, when you said, "Hey, Carl's been saying some shit about socialism," like what? Like I don't follow Carl. I actually don't.
I only see it because other people are tweeting about it, and then I'm like, well, what's this about?
See, but I muted a lot of those motherfuckers.
No. I'm talking about people that we actually follow.
Oh, that we actually
follow. Yeah. So if it's like mentioned by someone we're following, I'm like, wait, what? And I sort of track back to see what's going on.
So apparently,
and it usually just ends up with me going, like, whoever they're talking about, I just go, oh my God, they're so fucking stupid. And that's...
See, I don't even go that far anymore. I've been busy with the website. I took today off, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I did. So there, sorry. Not sorry.
Good night, every Satos.
Good night.
So, yeah, I think we'll...
So, yes, what we're going to do is we're going to tell people, go to acadiantimes.com.
Ding!
And I've added there are new feeds.
Yeah.
There are new feeds that cover lots of other things beside just politics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm greatly enjoying that. And I'm sad that every article can't be about Carl like he wanted.
Yeah, he wants the whole website to be about him.
Yeah, I can't believe he actually tweeted at me that I built a website around him.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's not. If anything, Trump could say that.
But then he deleted the tweet when he realized how stupid he was being.
Yeah.
Just delete all of your Twitter. It's all stupid.
Yes. Well, mostly it is. I'm just playing the numbers game. He's made a lot of tweets. There's got to be one in there that's not totally retarded. So yes, go to the website, read the website, follow the website on Facebook.
Yep.
Or follow me on Twitter.
Yep.
Follow the Woolly Bumblebee.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Just don't get too close, God damn it! This is still a patriarchy, and I own weapons.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a joke, by the way. That wasn't, you know.
Everything has to be qualified.
You have to qualify everything.
It's so sad.
It's so sad. Yes, it kind of is. It kind of is. But yes, I'm looking forward to, and I have already started. I have a thing I want to do on Gamergate. Although, oh my God, that's taking a huge amount of time.
Why do you even want to drag that?
I find
up again.
No, I don't want to like dramatize anything. I'm interested in knowing like the facts and that sort of thing. But it's
why
a
don't
lot.
You interview
it takes a
Carl?
lot of digging.
Carl knows all
Carl's
that.
a moron. Look, Carl's a moron. Let's be honest, Carl. I may not be, you know, the mighty Kreskin and shit, but I'm not Carl. But I am doing like actual research on it.
Okay. You
know, as if I were writing a book, which, but I've got another couple of things coming down the line. I am in the middle of doing the conversation, the interview that Sam Harris did with the guy who wrote the Bell Curve.
Oh, Bax.
No. E. Belford Bax is the guy from back in the day that, you know.
Oh my
the
God!
Anti-feminist from years from
I've lost my mind.
Yeah, no, you've mixed these up.
I might mix it up.
Murray,
yes. Charles Murray.
And it's a fascinating interview to be honest. And I think I'm going to add a couple more.
Thank you, Lance. Yes, Charles Murray.
Yes, Charles Murray. Thank you. And I'm going to add. I'm also looking into. I may do the interview that Roaming Millennial did with Richard Spencer.
Why would you want to do
that?
Because
it's a similar softball interview.
I know. I'm like,
it's a similar,
you want to do that train wreck?
And a lot of the skeptics like to point out the Bill Maher interview.
Oh God.
Or no, I'm sorry, not the Bill Maher interview.
Sam Harris.
No.
There's so many.
The Christopher Hitchens interview from back in the 90s.
Oh,
with the kid from the KKK.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And how and the differences, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to doing that, but that does take a lot of time. It does take a lot of my time. Thankfully, the graphic stuff helps, and please opinions on the thing that I did for the Acadian Times web. The typewriter.
I love the typewriter.
It took a while. It took a while to get the right tones and everything. But anyway, I'm talking technical shit, right? So yes, go visit the website, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook.
And give me all your monies.
And give me all your monies. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
If fucktards like Carl can make bank on this shit.
Well, you know, smart people have better things to do with their money.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Oh, goodness.
Give me all your monies.
Give me all your monies. All right. So say goodnight, dear.
Good night. Wait a minute. This is my podcast.
Yeah. Say goodnight, dear.
Patriarchy.
Matriarchy.
It just doesn't work anymore.
Say goodnight, dear.
Good night, dear.